Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video, and today I want to share with you guys this new Arena 7 strategy I've been using on my mini account, and that is this giant poison deck, as you can see right here. Now, all of the cards are actually available by Arena 6, so you can start using this deck by then if you wanted to, but if you guys don't have all of the cards in this deck and you wanted to use it in the earlier arena, I'll offer you some suggestions for replacements. So the Zap spell can be replaced with arrows, the poison spell can be replaced with a fireball, and the elixir pump is kind of a wild card, and you can put whatever you want in that slot there because you already have some tank units, you already have some AoE splash units, you already have air defense, and you already have some distraction units. So that elixir pump slot is kind of up to you and up to your personal preference. If you want to keep the average elixir cost down, go ahead and throw in some spear goblins. That'll increase your air defense and also give you a second option for some distraction units. If you want to do a stronger push deck, go ahead and throw in a witch or a prince or something like that for that slot. But anyways, guys, that's the deck. Let's go ahead and take a look at some replays here and then finish off with a live battle. So here we are, guys, facing a level 9. Now, fortunately, I do have the elixir pump in my starting hand, which is always the ideal scenario when you're using the pump. So as soon as I hit 10 elixir, gonna go ahead and place it down in the middle of my base, and he's actually gonna start setting up a push with the 3 elixir minions. I'm gonna sit back a quick second and see if he places any of the troops behind these minions. He actually doesn't, and he decides to place down the Inferno Tower in the middle of his base. So I'm actually gonna ignore those minions, soak up the damage in the tower, and start setting up a counter push with the giant way in the back behind my King Tower. And the reason I decided to do that, guys, is I know the Inferno Tower is probably his strongest counter to the giant in his deck. So as soon as he places it down, I know by the time the giant crosses the bridge, it'll lose a good portion of its health and he won't have it back in rotation. So down goes the poison spell here, guys, damaging the tower as well as the Inferno Tower, the bomber, and the barbarians. So a pretty good use of the poison spell there, and that's one of the reasons I love the poison spell over, say, the fireball, is it has a much larger radius of effect, and it also slows down the attack speed of everything inside of it. So it's a pretty good support spell for going in with strong pushes like that. Now, once again, going to go ahead and ignore these minions, start setting up a second elixir pump, and really get the elixir flowing for later on in the battle. But my tower is getting pretty low. It's down to 1500 health, so I do have to be a bit more cautious later on in this battle with soaking up that damage. He's going to go in with a pretty aggressive push here with the World Giant as well as the Fire Spirits. Down goes the cannon to distract the World Giant, and I'm also going to go ahead and use the Valkyrie to soak up all the Fire Spirits damage. And as a result, the World Giant only gets 2 hits off of my tower, but he does bring it down to 1200 health. So like I said, I have to be a bit more cautious here with soaking up that damage on the left-hand tower. Now, Musketeer, fortunately going in there, getting a couple hits on that tower, bringing it down to 800 health, but I'm in a bit of trouble here with the Barbarians coming back on a counter push. Unfortunately, the poison spell doesn't take him out fast enough, so I'm also forced to use the cannon here to distract the Barbarians, which really isn't ideal because I know he has the Royal Giant in his deck, and the cannon is my strong counter to the Royal Giant. So right here, going to start setting up another push with the Giant way in the back behind my King Tower. He's going to go in with another push with that Royal Giant. Going to go ahead and use the Valkyrie to tank the minion damage, and then use the Goblins from the side to hopefully kill that Royal Giant before he does too much damage to my tower. And right here, a second Giant going down. So I have a pretty strong push going on here, guys, and because I had so many electric pumps early on in the battle, I'm able to have a strong push here with the poison spell as well as the Valkyrie going in for support. Now, fortunately, the Inferno Tower does die, while my level 5 Giant has a decent chunk of health on him, and as a result, the Giant reaches the tower and is able to give me the 1 crown lead. And with 17 seconds left in this battle, guys, all I have to do is defend. So down goes his Royal Giant, gonna go ahead and use the cannon to distract it, and then use the Musketeer as well as the Valkyrie to hopefully take it out. And with 5 seconds left, guys, this game is pretty much over, and I will get the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead to the next replay here. So here we are, guys, facing another level 9 here, and once again, fortunate enough to have the elixir pump in our starting hand. So as soon as I make it to 10 elixir, gonna go ahead and place it down in the middle of my base and start getting the elixir flowing for later on in the battle. He's actually using a P.E.K.K.A strategy, so he's going to drop down his P.E.K.K.A way in the back behind his crown tower and start setting up a strong push. Now, I have a decision to make here. I can either do a counter push on the opposite lane, or I can focus on defending against this P.E.K.K.A push. I'm going to go ahead and defend here, because it's pretty early on in the battle and I don't know what kind of cards he has in his deck, so I'm not too certain about doing a counter push just yet. So the Giant making his way up here, gonna go ahead and support the Giant with a Musketeer as well as a Cannon. And take a look at this, Goblin's going down in the back to hopefully take out the Ice Wizard. Now he does drop down a Musketeer in the back for support, which does pose a little bit of a problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Valkyrie here to finish off that Musketeer, because I don't want the World Giant going up front tanking for it. Now unfortunately, his World Giant is able to sneak in there and get a couple hits on my tower, but my Giant does die before he makes it to the tower, and I really just think that's because my Giant is only level 5, which by tournament standards equals level 7 commons, so it's a pretty under-level Giant versus level 9 opponents here, but the Musketeer was able to go in there and get one hit on the tower, bringing it down to like 2400 health, so not too bad. Now right here I'm forced to use the Poison Spell as well as the Goblins to take out those level 9 Barbarians, which really isn't elixir efficient, but I really had to do that to prevent any damage to my tower. Now right here we're going to sit back and start building up some elixir once again. Here we are sitting at 10, gonna go ahead and start setting up a push on the right hand side this time, because I know he's starting to focus on the left hand lane. So take a look at this, Giant going up on the right hand side, he drops down his P.E.K.K.A. way in the back on the left hand lane. I'm actually going to go all in on this push on the right hand side and force him to spend all of his elixir defending his tower. So take a look at this, Giant making the way up front, Valkyrie going down in front of the Giant to hopefully take out any spammy troops. He drops both wizards down. I'm going to go ahead and use the Poison Spell to damage that tower as well as damage both wizards. And I'm also able to use the Cannon as well as the Goblins to take out the P.E.K.K.A. on the left hand lane. So a pretty successful counter push right there, guys. The Giant getting one more hit off, bringing that tower down to 72 health. Now if I had a level 6 Giant, that tower would actually be down and I would have a 1 crown lead. But unfortunately, my Giant is only level 5, so I do have to go in with another push to finish off that tower. Now right here, he's got some pretty good pressure going on with the World Giant, but fortunately with the Poison Spell slowing it down, it only gets one hit on my tower, bringing it down to 2200 health, and once again I have another push going on the right hand side with the Giant up front and 2 Musketeers in the back, taking out that Valkyrie pretty quickly. Now unfortunately the Giant does die before he makes his way to the tower, but I'm going to go ahead and use the Poison Spell here to damage those barbs, and then use the Goblins to distract. And take a look at this, guys. Both of my Musketeers are still alive, including one Musketeer with 1 health left, and he has nothing left to defend here, so I'm able to get the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead and do a live battle here, guys. So here we go, guys. Facing a level 8, which is honestly very surprising, because 95% of my battles are against level 9s. So let's see here, Elixir Pump in the starting hand. Go ahead and place it down right here. And what is his counter move? Lava Hound. Ooh, this is the one deck that this deck is fairly weak against. And he's got a level 2 Lava Hound, which is very surprising as a level 8 opponent. So Musketeer going down here to hopefully take out the... Let's use this as well as this. And the Cannon here to distract both of those. And so let's see here. We are in trouble here, guys. Poison Spell slowing all this down. There we go. Now we did lose the Elixir Pump, but we also did some decent damage on that counter push. I didn't even realize that his tower is down to 1600 health. So not too bad. Let's go ahead and place down another pump here. I like the way, even though we lost the pump there, I did like the way we used the pump to distract that balloon there. So that wasn't too bad at all. He's pretty lucky though to have a level 2 Lava Hound as a level 8. Let's start setting up a push here with this Giant. He's going to start setting up a counter push with the Bomber, which is a pretty interesting choice. What's going to go up front here? Musketeer to counter this. Valkyrie up front here. And we're going to save the Poison Spell. Actually, we're going to go ahead and use the Poison Spell right here. As soon as that Lava Hound explodes, we're going to go ahead and use the Zap Spell here. Damage all of this. Come on, Giant, make it to the tower. 2 hits off, not too bad. I mean, could be better, but... Now, he's got a pretty strong counter push going on here. So let's go ahead and use the Musketeer, which might not have been the best choice, because the Musketeer was my strong counter to the... balloon. Valkyrie here with a Giant up front, where there's only 50 seconds left in this battle, so I'm not going to pump up anymore. Go ahead and use this. Unfortunately, come on, just make it to the tower and get a couple hits off. 1, 2 maybe. There we go. I can poison this tower out for the rest of the battle. And as soon as the Musketeer gets closer, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Valkyrie here. And come on, come on, come on. We're gonna use the poison spell here. Cannon here. Come on, distract the balloon. No, 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 no. We're in trouble here. I wanted to hopefully use that cannon to pull back the balloon. So let's use this Valkyrie here. Push that Valkyrie back. Hopefully take her out. There we go. And let's see if we can poison this. We're going to use this cannon here to pull this Lava Hound over. And hopefully we can use a Giant here. And zap this. And just use this to cycle. And let's use this poison spell here to damage this tower. There we go. Come on, poison spell, finish it off. There we go, getting the 1 crown victory. Good game. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.